Against all odds, the father who built a school for his daughter. Imagine this. Your little girl comes home crying from school. Not because she failed an exam, not because she was bullied, but because the very school itself told her, "You don't belong here." Now stop for a second. What would you do if this happened to your child? Would you beg the teachers? Would you try to change schools? Or would you build her a school with your own hands? It sounds impossible, right? Like something out of a movie. But this is not fiction. This is a true inspirational story. A story of a father who did the unthinkable. A father who took the pain of his daughter's tears and turned it into bricks, walls, and classrooms. This is the story of Dashrath, a poor father who lived in a dusty village, far from the comfort of big cities. No one expected much from him. He was not rich, he was not educated, he was not even trained as a builder. But what he did, out of love for his daughter, will leave you speechless. So, let me ask you, if your child's future was slipping away, if society shut the doors of opportunity in their face, how far would you go to fight for them? Stay with me till the end, because what you are about to hear might just change the way you think about love, sacrifice, and never giving up. Dashrath lived in a small village where dreams rarely survived. There were dusty roads, broken promises, and little hope. His daughter was different. She was bright, curious, hungry to learn, but her dreams were chained by something so simple, yet so powerful: the lack of a proper school. The nearest school was miles away. For a little girl, the long walk was exhausting and dangerous. Some days she went. Many days, she couldn't. And every time she came home crying, her father's heart broke a little more. Have you ever watched someone you love cry not because of what they did wrong, but because of what the world denied them? That's the pain Dashrath felt. One evening, after watching his daughter return home with tears in her eyes yet again, something clicked inside him. He realized that waiting for help would mean waiting forever. No government, no official, no outsider was coming to save his daughter. And so, he made a decision that shocked everyone. If no one would give his daughter an education, he would build a school for her, with his own hands. People laughed when they heard this. They mocked him. A poor man building a school? Impossible, they said. But Dashrath had something stronger than money, stronger than education, stronger than skill. He had a father's love. And when love turns into determination, it can move mountains, or in his case, build schools. Think about this for a second. Can you imagine building an entire school with no workers, no machines, no money, only your bare hands? That's what Dashrath faced. Day by day, brick by brick, he began. He lifted stones. He dug the ground. He carried heavy loads under the hot sun. His hands bled. His body ached. But every time he thought of stopping, he remembered his daughter's tears. And he kept going. Have you ever tried to do something big and had everyone doubt you? Remember how heavy their words felt? People in the village mocked him. Some whispered, "He's gone mad." Others said, "Why waste your time? Schools are for governments to build, not for poor men like you." But Dashrath did not listen. He shut out the noise. He worked when others rested. He worked when others mocked. And slowly, something began to rise from the dust. Walls, structures, hope. At first, he was alone. But as the walls rose higher, people began to notice. A neighbor donated a bag of cement. Another helped carry bricks. A teacher promised to volunteer when the school was ready. What started as one man's impossible dream was slowly becoming a community's hope. That's the power of sacrifice. One spark of determination can light a whole village. Years passed. Sweat turned into structure. Mockery turned into admiration. Slowly, the school began to take shape. A roof, desks, a blackboard, a place where children could finally sit, open books, and dream bigger. But the journey was not easy. Every day brought new challenges: shortage of materials, lack of money, exhaustion. But Dashrath never gave up. He knew that each brick laid was a step closer to his daughter's future. Imagine this: a father working late into the evening, his hands covered in dust, his back bent with pain, but his eyes glowing with determination. That's the image of true love. And finally, after years of struggle, the day came. The school was finished. A real building, solid, strong, a place that would stand for generations. The first day his daughter walked into that school, her smile lit up the entire room. But she was not alone. Other children came too, dozens, then hundreds. The father who wanted only to educate his daughter had now given education to an entire generation. This is where the story becomes even more powerful. Because the father's dream didn't just change his daughter's life, it changed the whole community. With a school in the village, more children attended. Girls who were once told, "Education is not for you," now sat in classrooms. Boys who had no future now held pencils and books. Teachers came, volunteers came. The school became a symbol of hope. And his daughter? She grew up with the education her father fought for, with confidence, with courage, with dreams bigger than her village. She became an inspiration to others. Her story spread, and she showed other girls that education is not just a privilege, it's a right worth fighting for. Have you ever noticed how one person's act of love can create ripples that reach far beyond what they imagined? That's exactly what happened here. One father's fight for his daughter gave birth to opportunities for an entire community. Now, let me ask you, doesn't this raise a question for all of us? How often do we say, "I can't, I don't have enough, I don't know how"? But this father proved something powerful. You don't need money, you don't need permission, you don't even need expertise. Sometimes, all you need is love strong enough to push you forward. So, what about you? What's one thing in your life right now that feels impossible? Starting a business? Finishing school? Helping someone you love? This story is proof that nothing is impossible when your reason is strong enough. So if this story moved you, write in the comments, "I won't give up." Let's fill the comments with hope, strength, and determination. And if you want more true motivational stories, real-life sacrifices, and powerful lessons of love and courage, subscribe to this channel right now. Because here, we celebrate people like you, people who turn the impossible into possible. Remember this: one man built a school with his bare hands, not because he had everything, but because he refused to do nothing. And that is the power of love.